I'm a bit late tonight because I was still recording the video in Italian, so sorry about that. I'm here with the full moon in Cancer broadcast explanation, sorry, and I'm here. This full moon will happen on the 10th of January 2020, and at this full moon we will have a lunar eclipse. It is a very important time, first of all, because we are still until the 10th of January. We have been in the middle of a corridor between two eclipses, and this moves an intense energy, because every eclipse is a sort of rebooting of energy. So, and especially lunar eclipse are very strong accelerators of energy and transformation. The previous solar eclipse on the 26th of December was a solar eclipse about bringing up all the karmic pattern that we normally we need to work with and leave behind. And at the time of this lunar eclipse, we will really deal with them for a big and huge letting go. First thing I would like to say is this: Cancer and Capricorn are, because we have the moon in Cancer but the sun is going to be in Capricorn, are going to be two very intense signs, because Cancer is the entrance into incarnation from the esoteric point of view, while Capricorn is the coming out of incarnation, the leaving behind every incarnation. So it's a sign associated to rebirth, resurrection. Think about also, it is also the sign attributed to Jesus, because symbolically it is the initiate, even if Jesus is symbolically Pisces. So energetically is a big transformation, a big energy, and then it's a big movement, a big especially in relation to endings. And I would like to say a little bit more about this. Cancer, generically, as a sign, it is associated to endings, to our in traditional astrology. It is our house, it is our family, especially the mother and all our close relatives. It is associated to endings. It is associated to karmic, biological karmic pattern. And then it is also, the house is also our body. From the esoteric point of view, it is associated to foundation, the foundation of our soul. It is associated to endings. It is associated to karmic resolution and transformation. It is a sign of water. We were born in waters. It is a sign of water, and is very, very, it is strongly related to all sensitivity and all the emotional pattern that we carry within. It is also the sign of mass consciousness. It is associated to gold, because it represents esoterically the raw material we were born with, and then we need to transform in order to find the true gold and learn about discrimination. From the Orosoma color point of view, gold moves from fears, anxieties, lack of self-worth, and so on. But its highest meaning is also wisdom, is discrimination, is self-confidence and wisdom, especially wisdom, the inner wisdom that we can only find within ourselves. So, and it's a very important science, because it's the basis, it represents the foundation of who we truly are, where we were born, our house, our body, are so important, because if we have good foundation, we can move into the future, into the outer world, in our career, which is symbolically represented by Capricorn. Capricorn is the sign of career, of status, of opportunities. It is the symbol of our ambition, the way we manifest ourselves in the world. So these two star signs are extremely important, and the fact that the eclipse, the two eclipses take place in this star sign is a very important thing, because it talks about a big transformation moving into our life. They both talk about endings, because also Capricorn, Cancer, we end situation with our family. We need to leave the family behind and move into our new life, into our new self, true self. And then we also, Capricorn represents, we need to come to an ending, you know. Capricorn is related to the goat going up the mountain, and then the mountain goat going up the mountain, and then we reach the top of the mountain. The only thing we can do is going down. So it's also called the sign of periodic resting. So it's about, this moon talks about a periodic arrest, a stop, a release, endings of things, everything that has been, you know, sort of related to the old idea of self, and resolution of situation in order to move into something new. So the day of this lunation will be the 10th of January 2020, and 10th is about completion, is about perfection of God's divine order. We have the 10 laws, the 10 commandments that were given to man, and then we are true to ourselves. We are in alignment with our true self when we follow these laws. This is why we have the one of the month is associated to the sun, is associated to the higher will, and it is about being in oneness with God, in oneness with life. It's also about a singularity of purpose. It's about being able to be ourselves and bear the polarities of opposite within us, spirit and matter within us, and act accordingly. So 10 in the tarot pack, in the esoteric tarot pack, is associated to the wheel of fortune. So the wheel of fortune in the esoteric tarot pack means the world is an illusion, and it says that constantly life asks us questions, and whatever we answer, what we answer is going to have a consequence on our life. If we answer with if we give the correct answer, we're going up the ladder and we're going to understand something and move into something new. If we don't answer correctly, we're going to go down and go back into mass consciousness, which is what Cancer is all about. So this moon talks about a big transformation to time and space, because 10 and 1 is an 11, so and is a 2, and 20 is a 22, so 2 and 2 is 24. So transformation through time and space, alchemy. To be able, 2 and 4 is 6, die to the old self and be open to receive and move from the outer into the inner. In this in the numerology of this lunation, we have this 11. 10 is a 1 and the month is a 1, so it's an 11. So, which tells us we are going to be tested in order to how well we can make our life express more oneness with the Creator. So, because our purpose, our task is to give light to the world, to whatever we do. So we need, as 24 says, to become priest. Priest is symbolically of the high priestess is symbolic to be act according to the divine guidance, because working with that we become a symbolically priestess, or we access priesthood in order to enter the sanctuary of God, so and work in alignment with the laws of the universe. So the total addition of the day of the lunation will be 15. 15 in esoteric numerology is angel of devil, so it talks about a choice, but also talks about, in sacred numerology, about a new direction, because it's the addition of the yod and the hey. So it's the hand of the inspiration of the Holy Spirit that gives us a new direction in life. In Psalm 15, it's really speaks, Psalm 15 speaks about a new direction from normal walk of the carnal man. So on the 15 days of the first month, Israel left Egypt, so it's about a new direction from the country. And in the tarot, is the devil, which is about leaving behind the intellect to be able to be true to ourselves and open our heart. So it's a big process of internalization to be able to leave behind the pattern of mass consciousness, Cancer, and act by following the higher will. So if we consider the day numerologically, 10-1 is an 11, 20-20 is a 22, 11 and a 22 is a 33, which is devotion to love. It's about leaving behind, changing our minds, renewing our mind, leaving behind a sense of martyrs, a sense of being a victim, which is a typical Cancer attitude, and then being able to be ourselves and save ourselves. Saving ourselves, salvation comes from the etymological origin is to become go back to wholeness, to oneness, being one with a whole, not separated from who we truly are. So during this moon we'll be asked truly, who are you? Who do you serve? Because Cancer is related to the base chakra. If we look at the astrological chart, the lower part, Gemini and Cancer, are the base chakra, and the top will go up, and the top, Sagittarius and Capricorn, are the third eye, because the south node and the north node are really true other aspect. The north node is the seventh chakra. So the sixth chakra is is Capricorn, and the Cancer is the base chakra. The demon of the base chakra is fear, and the demon of Capricorn, the sixth chakra, is illusion. So we're really asked to go leave behind our fear that create a lot of illusion in our mind, and then be who we truly are, and then be able to see where we have to go and what we have to do. Another aspect, important aspect, and that this lunar eclipse, because the lunar eclipses accelerate the energies, and because they want us to shift and move things from our life. So, and then they will move things that we think we are not ready of leaving behind, that we actually really ready to do that. And because Cancer is a sign of a water sign, it will be a very intense emotional sign, because it's about feeling the imprisonment, feeling the pains of where we've been until now, and then in a way experiencing the consequences of our wrong orientation, because Cancer esoterically has to bring the light into the soul, into the body, and then in order to lead us to self-realization, which is really manifested in Capricorn. So Cancer is about being able to trust our intuition, follow our intuition, and leave behind our self-deception. So we cannot have a life that is only form anymore, but our life needs to be really full of life and alive. The Sabian symbol of this of the moon at the time of this full moon will be a famous singer is proving a virtuosity during an operatic performance. The singer is symbolically when we act to be perfect, when we need to be perfect. And then opera is full of symbols. Opera is the outward representation of the inner life of man. The inner and the outer, the opera says, are aspects of the same reality, according to the law of sympathetic of corresponding vibration. So the opera acts as intermediary between the soul of humanity and its blind lower self. So it's putting us in front of ourselves so that we can disperse darkness from our heart. So what the moon is telling us, is it worth it to keep acting as a star, to be acting in order to have success around you, when what you're truly doing is betraying yourself? And then the sun in Capricorn, the sun is the sign of, where in the Hebrew tradition, where we receive the light from above, is the Sabian symbol is a relay race, which means that the group situation will put us will make us adjust our strength to this challenge presented, because we can only grow when others push us somehow in our direction. Cancer has a fear of survival and needs security. Capricorn is fear of lacking security. So we are really asked of clearing everything that stops us from feeling alive. This moon in Cancer in Aramaic is called Sartan. Sartan means to remove and clear negativity. And Tan is chaos, hatred, negativity. So Cancer, we are asked to leave behind everything that doesn't lead us towards immortality. It was in the month of Cancer, the 17 days of the month of Cancer, in Hebrew is Tammuz, that Moses came down from the Mount Sinai with the tablets, bringing to the world the power and energy of immortality. And if you remember, the Hebrew people had made a golden calf because they didn't trust. So this was the beginning of chaos, of suffering. This is also why they had to be in the desert for 40 years. And also on the 17th day of Cancer, of the month of Cancer, the temple of Jerusalem was destroyed, because it was saying that you cannot create a body, your body cannot be a vehicle of light, because it cannot receive something from light. The only thing we think about is only ourselves. This moon is going to be at 20 degrees 1 minute to Cancer. So 20 is about giving birth. It's a process of violence, giving birth. Giving is also a time of redemption. We need to give birth to the unity with life. So, and 20 and 1 is a 21, which is the manifestation of the idea. We need to manifest what we are. So 21 in sacred numerology is called the strength of God's grace to cover sin during our time of spiritual growth. So when it seems is missing the point, is missing the target, this is what seems mean. Every time we miss the point, it causes distress. And then life brings us distress in order to teach us the consequences of our action, of our belief. So we need to remove everything that has created that in our life. And this is also what this moon is going to do. At the time, I want to show you, at the time, this moon will be conjunct Castor. Castor is the twin of Pollux in the Gemini. Castor was the son of Leda and the god Tyndarus, the king of Sparta. So what it means, it was the profane brother, and then it's also associated to Mercury. Mercury is the intellect, so we need to let go of the mind and trust something at our own heart. If you look at this lunation, this moon will be in Cancer, okay, and then it will be pushed by this big stellium of planets. We have the Sun, we have Mercury, we have Vulcan, we have Ceres, we have Saturn, we have Pluto, and there will be a very close, wide conjunction with the South Node and Jupiter and Pallas Athena. What does this mean? It means that practically we really have to leave behind what makes us feel safe, have the courage, because Pluto and Saturn are at 22 degrees, which is actually Capricorn, we want to fulfill our responsibility. They will support us to let go of our old self. Ceres is about death and rebirth. Inner strength, don't worry about if you may be defeated. It's only the old self that is going to be defeated, not the true self. Defeated in being what other people want you to do, but being in truly who you are, becoming who you truly are. So it's also talking about leaving behind the mind pressure and then trusting really the higher self, the sun. We are on a threshold, and Pallas Athena will be on the galactic center, which is actually about being able to project our vision upon and give form to the material. So we need really to look at ourselves clearly, objectively, and choose what we want to do. And then this is what Chiron says. Chiron can say, if you don't look at yourself objectively, you may keep going into the same wound. And also, Pallas Athena is squared Lilith, the black moon, which is about really you're going to reap what you have sown and cultivated or failed to cultivate. So it's really a time of transformation where we really are asked to look, listen, go back to our body, listen to ourselves, because the energy of the universe is moving things, unconscious things, without our awareness to support us in letting go of what is no longer needed. There is also a big square, if you see that grand square between these planets, the moon, Aries, and then this big stellium, and then Juno, which says really there is a gradual expansion of consciousness. The Sabian symbol of Uranus is associated to the clover, and the clover is about transformation, renewing ourselves, trusting ourselves, because it will bring success, and leaving behind the old, listen to our old wisdom. And then this big grand trine, this really green one, which is between Saturn sorry, Saturn, this Vulcan, South Node, Jupiter, Regulus and Uranus, which means that we're going to break, because Uranus is going to to move stationary direct, really, the day after the lunation. So it's going to have a big transformation. So it's going to start freedom, revolution, change. And Regulus, which is Archangel Raphael, the fixed star Regulus, is about really be able to discriminate what is right, what is wrong. And then Jupiter joining the mind and the heart. So it's a big, big, big thing. Speak the truth, say the truth, speak the truth to ourselves, because this is about big change of direction. The meridian of associated to Cancer is the stomach meridian, which works, is active between 7 and 9 a.m. in the morning. Which relates to the central nervous system, our brain, also the reptile brain, the spinal cord, and our stomach. And also it talks about our capacity to change, to adapt. It's called the sea of nourishment, but also the root of the postnatal life, because it's the meridian which is responsible of the digestion of food, because it receives universal information and brings into our body and extract energy from it. So if we listen to the universal energy, we will have support, we will be guided. If we don't listen, it may create anxiety, confusion, instability, doubt, and so on, because it's really when this meridian is not flowing, brings fear of the new and over importance of the self, while we need to be open-minded and trust and have the strength to move forward. I would like to leave you with a quote from Rumi. And this quote says, "You have been a prisoner of a little pond. I am the ocean. This is life speaking, and its turbulent flood. Come merge with me. Leave this world of ignorance. Be with me. I will open the gate to your love." So what it says is that we have built barriers against ourselves, our shell. Cancer shell is our armor, and then we need to find love for who we truly are. All the emotional pains we feel are messengers, says Rumi. Listen to them, because only when we feel the emotional, we can really truly open our heart, break the armor, listen to what is contained within. And so I hope you really have a wonderful full moon with a lunar eclipse. It's going to be intense, big transformation, but trust where it's leading you. And if you want more information about what we do, you can go and look at our website, internationalinitiationschool.com. This month we're going to have a lot of new courses. Esoteric astrology, esoteric numerology. We're going to host Linda Graham from Australia, teaching color, light, and consciousness, all the meaning of color from a deep point of view, all the things, the different aspect, holistic aspect related to color. So I invite you to come and join us. And then also the I Ching. We're going to start the I Ching, because the I Ching is represents a way through which the cosmos communicate with us. So if you want to be part of it, also the tarot course, the esoteric tarot course, you can look at our website. We also organize, we have a translator, so you can join us. And wishing you all the best and happy full moon with lunar eclipse. Bye bye.